So is Julie coming on, or Joe, are you leading this, or just curious?
Julie's supposed to hop on. I'm actually just sending her a text to
Oh, okay.
figure out what's up. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything otherwise. So last I talked to her was yesterday, and she hadn't said anything about not showing up.
That's cool. So you travel quite a bit, right, Joe?
Yeah, we've had some family health things going on the last couple of months, so we have been back in Enumclaw hanging out home base, but we traditionally spend about 11 months out of the year in our Sprinter van, just traveling around, mostly Southwest for like mountain biking and skiing these days. But yeah,
Cool.
lots of travel.
That's great. I just got a
Yeah,
Lexus GX 460 that's all set up for overlanding, and so I'm all about hitting the road too. So
sweet.
yeah, I do motorcycles and mountain bikes and gravel bikes and all that's kayaks and all that stuff too. So yeah.
Heck yeah. Very cool. Yeah, our biggest, we're starting to head towards Steamboat Springs tomorrow. And our biggest complication right now is like, man, there's not a lot of snow. It'd be super nice to have our mountain bikes with us, but we don't have enough. Our van setup right now is not such that I want to put mountain bikes on the back when it's 15 degrees out.
Right.
So
yeah. Yeah, you want to park those inside or something if you're traveling, right? Yeah.
And we discussed, well, we could build out another van, but right now the vans are so hard to come by these days. I mean, it is just a zoo out there if you're trying to find something, and we'd probably want to customize it ourselves. So you got to go through that whole process again, which we did one time, but it took like a year and a half to get that full thing done,
Yeah, I'm actually going to be building out a kitchen in my GX this year, and
cool.
yeah, it's sort of like the Forerunner style or GX style, where you've got like a fridge, cooler style fridge, and all that. So yeah,
nice,
fun.
That'll be cool. We see a ton of those out on the road. Those are super cool vehicles.
They're fun. It came with a lift and the full top rack. They had a tent on the top, and I decided not to do the tent yet, but yeah, it's pretty well set up. So it's a very comfortable ride. So
sweet. How long do you usually spend out on the road, or are you planning to?
I'm just planning, my goal is to just really just take my daughters on more trips and let them see the country, and see the national parks, and have fun doing it, and go adventure and off-road a little bit and camp and stuff. So we plan on going to Utah this year. So I really want to get to Utah and explore a lot. I haven't explored much over there, so there's so much to see,
Yeah.
So,
a lifetime of exploration could be done in Utah. I feel like I've spent a lot of time there, and it's still, there's so much more to be explored.
I definitely want a mountain bike there too. I think that would be amazing. So
yeah, you haven't mountain bike there at all?
No, not yet. No.
Okay. Moab is one of our frequent places that we go, and different kind of mountain biking there compared to Pacific Northwest for sure, but so much fun.
My brother lives in Vegas. He just bought a house there, and we did some mountain biking out there, starting at Blue Mountain or Blue Diamond area. Okay. They have a mountain bike shop you can rent, and then hit the trail right there, and it's like a 15-mile, 20-mile desert ride. It's pretty overwhelming if you're from the Northwest and you're riding in 90-degree weather in the desert, but yeah, it's fun.
Yep, I've been there. It's definitely different, but absolutely a blast. So.
Yeah, really push yourself, so
yeah, for sure. We're just talking about some fun travel and mountain bike stuff. If you guys have anything that you would like to bring up real estate wise, go ahead and start with that. I've contacted Julie and haven't heard back. So not sure what's going on.
Well, I just got funded finally for my first deal, so I'm looking for my first rental deal. So I'm still a newbie getting started, but took a while to get that HELOC going on my main property to get some capital. Finally happened. So happy New Year. So interested in making more connections. I'm looking for a probably move into sort of like a flip or burr kind of situation, potentially partnering, open to that as well. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Cool. What area are you looking in, Keith?
I'm just starting to really look, so most likely outside Seattle, but probably not out of state. I'd like to keep it somewhat local,
Nice. So with you, Troy?
Oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We've got the parks finally on the market, and now we go through the process of trying to find more. Gotta replace the 72 units with 150 is our goal.
Cool.
So kind of dealing with year-end taxes and winding up the search to find the right size parks these days. So I know a lot of people are always searching, but if I don't have money, I don't have the energy to be searching.
Right.
Is that like an RV park or
Mobile home parks?
mobile home park?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's been, I get a lot of people asking me why I'm selling and yada yada yada, but it's, the first one was proving ground. I wanted to buy it and prove out the model and figure out what I was doing. And we've made a lot of mistakes, tons of mistakes. So we decided that the best thing to do is just sell it, hand it over to someone else to get their value add, and go apply our lessons learned into a new project. So, and we've done well. Our IRR is going to be over 100%. So, yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, not bad.
What are you doing to find this 150 unit?
So we're probably looking for two. We'll buy a stabilized asset, probably in the 60 to 70 unit range, and then we'll look for another value add project for us to do the same thing. So I've got two partners. I've got three partners. One's our acquisitions and CapEx project manager. So he deals with the wholesalers and he deals with the brokers, and he's just got to wind up his marketing to get in everyone's face again and tell them what we're looking for. Because we do get there are a lot of wholesalers out there and a lot of people who've got off-market deals, but nothing's doesn't hit my metrics.
My other meeting, it was a Zoom meeting.
What kind of areas are you looking in? Or
Literally anywhere. I will buy anywhere. I don't care. The projects are big enough. The current one's in Flint, Michigan. So, and here I am in Seattle. So, 60 units is big enough for me to go out of state. Anything less is too small to be bothered with for me.
So once you buy these, do you add to and boost the equity and boost the value? And
yeah, sure. So this last one that we bought, it's actually got the one that we own now. It's got 188 pads. It's got 170 homes in the park. But when we bought it, there were only 42 residents and only 35 that were actually paying rent. So we've gotten it up to 72. My camera keeps losing focus there. We've got it up to 72 residents now. So we've doubled the occupancy, and there's still another 100 units to rehab and lease up. So that was lucky for us to find a park that had all these homes in it already, and made this a pretty easy project. But most parks are going to have that kind of setup. They probably won't have as many, and then it's just trying to find and move in new homes, doing all the capex, redoing the roads, redoing the power and the water systems. But yeah, absolutely. Value add is, I mean, we bought this thing for $750. We're on the market for $2.5 in 3 years. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's that's why scale's great, right? And we've only spent like 200 on capex spending over the last 3 years.
Wow,
So
it's great, man.
yeah. So that's me. That's what I got going on.
Nice. Holly, what's up with this duplex you want to sell?
Yeah, we have a duplex. It's in a little area called Rio Neto. Not sure if you guys know where that's at. It's on the river, Russian River area, by Santa Rosa. We bought it a couple years ago, and we fixed up the bottom unit. Is 350 square feet. Fixed up that, and then moved up to the top unit. It's a 2-bedroom, and we are just looking to, we want to just use some of the funds to honestly buy our primary, and then invest into another property. So the rents on top would probably go, right now it's rented for $2,100. The tenant's moving out mid-February, so we have at least one vacant unit. The bottom studio is rented out for $1,300. And we're probably looking to sell somewhere between $600 to $630.
Cool.
Was
Yeah.
that area affected by the fires at all?
Yeah, so it wasn't when we were living there. So 2020, we were living there. You can probably hear my little one in the background. In the bottom unit with our remodel completely stopped because we obviously didn't want people in there to fix up the unit. And the fire came a half a mile close to the duplex, to the area there of 300 to 400 homes. So we love the area. It's beautiful. A lot of San Francisco, the area is known for a lot of Airbnbs, vacation rentals. So a lot of investors will buy a property there and rent it out for the VRBO Airbnbs. So, and the rents have increased a lot in the area, but we were evacuated in 2020 during that. So fun house hacking story. So I would never advise to do it with a child. That's my 2 cents on that. In 350 square feet. So
Thanks for sharing. Yeah, that sounds like a great location. I love the Santa Rosa area.
the Russian River is a beautiful location. It's 15, 20 minutes from a lot of different trails.
So many wineries there too. It's really nice.
Yeah, there's Dry Creek Valley Road. You could walk, yeah, you can walk to Corbell. Corbell's just around the corner.
Nice.
I see your email, Kai. I'll go ahead and email you more details about that.
What's going on with you, Andy?
Yo, what's up? Sorry.
Uh,
Man, just arguing with the city about taxes and stuff. Just renovated and refinanced my personal residence. Here we go.
Yep.
Yeah, just finished off-market purchase, refinance, purchase, renovate, refinance, and yeah, it's great. The seller was pretty upset that I was refinancing so soon. He was hoping to hold the money out a little longer. So yeah, we had a seller finance. I essentially did everything that Julie taught me, and you, Joe. You know, we drove by this house, sent them a letter. Guy wanted to sell it. We bought it, renovated it. Here we are. Yeah, unfortunately, most people had a pretty bad 2021, but for me and my family, it was get a new house, refinance an apartment building, and be ready to purchase some more.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's about it.
Make it sound easy breezy.
Well, it's been really hard. We also have 2-year-old twins, so to throw it all in there, we like to do it all at the same time. I also sold off 2 properties that I was managing, so freed up some personal space to go buy more things that I don't manage.
Does anybody have any needs while they're on the call here, or just hanging out?
My company's hiring right now, so if y'all know anyone, that is in the real estate industry that would be interested in, maybe taking a W-2 in the lending business, I mean, we're hiring for a number of different positions right now. Whether that's like, client engagement, that basically, someone that's doing loans like myself, who's kind of like the front end of things, or someone that's, going to be working as an underwriter, or someone that's working on appraisals, even in like capital markets, responsible for selling loans. We're looking to hire for a lot of different positions right now.
How long have you been with Certain Lending?
Since 2018. So just under 4 years at this point.
How many people do you guys have in the office?
In the office, I mean, usually there's only like 3 or 4 people actually in the office. Everyone else is kind of working remote. In the company, I think we're up to like about 60 right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're trying
That's
to grow
cool.
because we just need more people. Good help is hard to find and all that.
Totally. Do you guys have fully remote employees?
Yep. I mean, I got a coworker. So we're headquartered in San Francisco, and like our other kind of hub is in Seattle. But I mean, I got coworkers that are in Boise. I got coworkers that are in Las Vegas, Arizona, Los Angeles. So I mean, we got people that are remote. There are some roles, like usually when we take on a new person, we tell them, look, one of the requirements, you got to come in and live in either SF or Seattle for a few months so you can do your training. But once that gets done, I mean, you can go live where you need to live.
Very cool.
The big key is, you got to be available, get your work done, be available during normal business hours.
That's cool. I feel like there's still a bunch of people that I talk to that are looking for that type of work. So I guess it's just finding the right people in the right position. What is the experience you guys are looking for?
We're not necessarily looking for any experience. Like we hire, like there's going to be a difference in like compensation for someone that has a lot of experience versus someone that doesn't. But I mean, we recently hired someone who was a college counselor, like not even a year ago, and she's doing great with one of our teams. Like we've hired people that are from the banking industry, who are from like higher education, who are from contracting world. Basically, we want people that are able to learn fast, people that are able to, willing to work hard, really good work ethic. Because I mean, right now, we are in very much that kind of like, we are in a pretty high intensity environment as far as like, work that we're doing. So it's definitely not a 9-to-5 job.
Is it a base plus?
Sorry, can you say again, Keith?
Is it a like base plus commission?
Depends on the position you take, right? So
Mhm.
for like the sales side of the team, yeah, base plus. If you're on like say underwriting team, you'd probably just be paid. You can be paid, base salary plus bonuses.
Mhm. Cool. I'm sure you guys are really busy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. We don't advertise anymore because we don't need to right now.
that's great.
Maybe that'll happen in the future.
If people want to apply for something, how do you recommend they go about doing that?
So on our website, we actually have like a job description and job application routes. So I mean, that's the best way to do it. Or they can shoot me an email directly, and I can, like, if they would prefer to send it to someone directly, they can always shoot me an email.
Okay, cool. That's good to know.
And I'll just drop my email in the chat just because.
Nice. Well, let's see.
Yeah, looks like Jennifer might not be showing up, unfortunately.
I just got a text from Julie saying that somebody, let's see what she said. Her boiler went down and the guy just found a wire that is melted to a pipe, causing a short back to the thermostats. So she is probably out, unfortunately. So hopefully it's not super terrible problem, but we can keep on going. If anybody has anything else they want to chat about, for sure.
I have a question. Has anyone dealt with a VA financing with a condition with a private road before and having to get a road agreement from all the parties? And if there's a way, if the road easement has been in place since the 1980s, if there's a way to go around having to get it signed by all the neighbors to get it approved by the VA underwriter. I'm kind of up against a snag, if that makes sense.
The easement isn't recorded on the deed.
No, the easement's recorded, but the VA called out that they need a road agreement because it's a private road. There's no road for maintenance. So something that I learned was that with more rural properties, if there's not a road agreement in place, depending on the type of financing you're using, it can cause a flag for underwriting because they want to make sure that in the event they have to take the property, that the roads are maintained to get to the property.
This is Paul Hemming. I've dealt with that, and a lot of times it's the underwriter, not just VA. We've fought with them and gotten them to just take the easement, but on one, we couldn't get them to do that. So the realtor, I think the buyer's realtor, went around and got everybody to sign, and he said it wasn't very hard. So it just depends on your neighbors, but most people are willing, to cooperate because they understand the lending rules.
Yeah, I'm the realtor. It's for property I'm buying. So I will be going around to all the neighbors and trying that first, but I want to have if that doesn't work, if there's like a plan B, or if we're just hit a snag and it's going to be dead. So
Is there already a road agreement?
There's no road agreement. My neighbors said they lost when they first moved in. So
How many?
It's not
how many
recorded.
neighbors are there?
How many what?
How many neighbors are there?
Total of 4.
Oh.
So, and I have met talked with them before, so I'm crossing my fingers it'll go okay. But
Yeah, hopefully it shouldn't be a problem. But if they're not going to sign it, there's nothing that's going to sink your deal.
Nice. Well, you'll have to give us an update on that, Holly, how it works out for you, because that sounds An interesting predicament.
Yeah, I hope it works out. So we'll see what happens today after I go deliver this to all of them, and hopefully they'll sign it. So basically, I just wrote up an agreement that just states all parties agree to maintain the road at such and such address, period. That's simple. So hopefully they'll agree to that, because it could affect their ability to possibly in the future. And
Could you see
something
any-
good to know.
Go ahead.
What? Oh, something good to know for just private roads and rural areas, maybe that are gravel. You know, if you're looking to hold on to something short term and sell in the future, to make sure that there's road agreements in place.
Yeah, interesting. Could you see a reason why they wouldn't want to sign that?
I think just being paranoid for some reason. So one of the neighbors is kind of, I would say, paranoid and to themselves. So we'll see how that goes. And one of the other neighbor wants just to maintain the road all by himself. So we'll just see, because it's their family that actually owns the road. So we'll see how it goes.
Interesting. Could somebody sign an agreement saying that they were going to take over that by themselves, and wouldn't that cover it for everyone else?
It could. And I've talked to that neighbor about that. But we, at that time, we couldn't come to an agreement with how that would be structured for him. So it just kind of fell off. But those are some good options, though. Thanks for bringing them up. If it doesn't work out with what I have going on, so.
Let's see. We had Hunter just jump on there. Hunter, what's up with you, man? Maybe you can't hear me or can't speak. No worries. If you get the opportunity, hop on in. Anybody else have anything that they're working on that some group thought could help with?
This is Paul again. I'm doing my first, or I plan on doing my first Delaware statutory trust. Has anybody done that? Or Joe, have you guys done a podcast on those?
I'll have to take a look. It hasn't been anything recent that I can think of.
Why are you doing a DST?
I'm getting old. I'm going to sell some of my projects, and I thought if I do a DST, I won't have to pay the capital gains, which are pretty significant on all our properties. So I've decided to sell 2 this year, and then I'll decide later if I sell more or keep them. My kids aren't interested in keeping them, even though it made us, if not rich, financially independent.
Sure. I mean, the problem with DSTs are that they're not very liquid. So if you need the cash in the future, it can be hard to exit those positions.
Yeah.
If you're looking to lower your tax burden from the sale, you could, depending upon what kind of properties they are, you could structure some seller financing options so that you can lower your tax burden and still have an easily disposable asset if you need cash in the future.
Well, we've taken owner contracts in the past, and they are very hard to enforce, like maintaining insurance. And when they didn't maintain it, we couldn't get it to protect our interest. And then when we went to sell the notes, even when they were performing well, we did not get the kind of offers I wanted. I mean, and I don't really need the money. I'm just looking at retirement income.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
We've got quite a bit liquid.
Okay, well, I mean, the people that were you selling to people who owned it or who were living in it or occupying the properties?
No, but both of the ones didn't want it, or they couldn't qualify, I should say.
Sure.
And so we got the tenants out. We're just finishing up the work. Boy, this has been a great time of year to have people work on your properties. They went super fast. and I've been complaining about subs for years. So it's been a good experience to fixing them up wise, and we did it a lot cheaper than I thought it was going to cost me.
Is there a reason DST over putting it into syndications?
I'm sorry, into what?
Into syndications?
Oh, I'd love to, but what I've heard about those is you got to find the ones and find, good ones.
Mm-hmm.
And got to forget, Grace did a webinar a couple of weeks ago, and the lady on there who had been doing it, man, I couldn't believe the money she was making. I mean, if anybody's got a suggestion about how to get in touch with a good syndication, I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, talk to Julie. She's got 3 or 4 people that she does syndications with who, Ryan Gibson and the Trojan group. It's probably one of the best locally. I don't know if they're doing any raises right now, but I mean, one of the things that you're looking for though is you need something that's going to pass on some tax deductions to you if you're selling, and you don't want to pay the capital gains on all those things. So that's
right. Because I'm thinking the one of the ones we're doing in our IRA, so that one's safe. But the other one, if I got to play the cap, it's going to be $50,000 in taxes. So, I mean, it's always nice to pay taxes because that means you're making a lot of money, but at the same time, you don't want to pay them.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, if you could find a syndication that's planning on tax losses for the first couple of years before they become profitable, then that's the way to go. You sell and you invest your money there, and you get the tax carried forwards.
Yeah, I thought about also doing maybe a accelerated depreciation on one of my other properties, but I don't know if you have to start that the first year or I can go back and change it.
Yeah, that's a good question for your CPA. Depends on how long you've owned it.
Yeah, well, one of them I've only owned a couple of years, and all the rest are free. I've owned for probably over a decade. But I'll check with them. That's a good idea.
I've got a question. So all of my investing, I've always been able to move or find deals pretty quickly, but I feel like in the last 6 months, I've been trying to find some more long-term buy and hold and just haven't found them in the areas that I want. Do you guys have any strategies for where you're keeping large amounts of cash that can actually do something while you're waiting to put it out into the field?
Shiba, park it all in Shiba. Come on. High savings yields typically the best. I mean, if you're projecting to close in the next, if you're trying to buy something in the next 3 to 9 months, damn it, my camera. But if you're going to go longer than that, do CDs.
Okay.
Or, you at least that way you get a guaranteed return. It may not be spectacular and it may not be anything, worthwhile, but money's safe and secure. You're not open to market influences, and you've got an exit time. And then if you don't buy in that time, then you can just roll over to a new CD.
Okay. I've never used CDs before. Is it like a set period of time that you invest in them?
Yeah, you buy them for set, and then you can cash them out early if you want to, but you take a penalty. Yeah, so for taxes, we build a CD ladder. So we've got 3-month CDs, 6-month CDs, 9-month CDs. And then if we haven't put enough away in our savings account to pay for taxes, we'll cash out the 3-month CD to pay for taxes. Otherwise, we roll it over to 9-month, and then our 6 months is dropped down to 3 months. Our 9 months is dropped down to 6 months. And now we've got a new 9-month. So it keeps our money generating returns in a safe way, without just sitting in the bank. Right.
Yeah. Smart. Do you have a company that you buy CDs from?
Do it through your bank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
You buy CDs through your bank.
Thanks, Troy. Let's see, who is this? Hunter has a question. He can't speak, but he says, hello, everyone. I'd like to ask for some advice on cash out refi for a Renton home. Original plan was to subdivide the lot and sell half of the parcel to a builder. The other parcel and the house we will keep and rent out behind our back. Since the house is also free and clear, we can later pull out the equity and put it down toward our next investment. Is that a better choice than putting the house on the market right now, considering people are paying 20% over asking nowadays? Anybody have any thoughts?
It's gonna depend on your goals, right? Like Paul said, he's selling because his goals are to not have to deal with, owning property anymore and just having a steady cash flow. If you're looking to grow a portfolio, it's probably better to take cash now. But if you're just happy with, a free and clear house that you can generate some cash on, it's probably, taking a small HELOC so that you can finish the subdivision and sell the parcel and pay off the HELOC when you're done with it. Then you still have that cash flowing asset that's paid off. But there's no best way to do it without also including what your goals are long term. Just my thoughts. I'm in growth, so I'd sell. I'd be like, whoa, 20%, let's sell. But then you've got to buy something. So if your long-term goal is expanding the portfolio and generating more cash flow, might be worth doing a cash out refi and then subdividing and buying more. As long as you get a loan that gives you the right equity so that you're actually cash flowing on a property in Renton, those properties are just going to continue to increase in value. There's a lot of demand down there. And then start hunting for new properties. You can email me or text me to Hunter if you have more questions. I'll drop my email here.
Cool. Thanks, Troy. Appreciate that. Anybody else that would like to bring something up? I know we've got kind of a smaller group today, but
yeah, what kind of zip codes are you guys looking in right now if you're looking for properties? Again, I'm looking for my first, and yeah, I'm just trying to narrow down, I guess, what's the best zip code to focus on at the moment? Just outside Seattle,
What are you, cash flow plays? Or are you looking for appreciation or a mix of the two?
I like a mix of the two. So I've got 70K, right? And I'd like to put that in and then get that pulled out and then repeat that process, so that's kind of leaning me towards like a flip or a burr,
Sure.
Model or something like that. So I'm just, really just putting together my plan right now. And that includes, it's going to include, which zip codes to focus on too. And so.
Are you managing yourself, doing the work yourself? You gonna hire people to do it?
I think it kind of depends on the property, and what level of work it needs. So because that dictates how, the time that you put in it and how long it's going to take to get it up to where it needs to be. So, yeah, if there's a lot of remodeling, I'll probably hire a crew, have a GC, and if it's light stuff, I can definitely cover it, but just kind of depends,
Sure. So the cash flow investors that I do inspections for, they're buying in Pacific, they're buying in Close Graham, Puyallup, and then up north, they're creeping to the north end of Marysville into not Arlington. Arlington.
Darrington, Arlington.
Yeah, Arlington. There's still some cash flow in some of the more downtown areas in Stanwood also. If you're going for low cash flow and higher appreciation, you want to start coming closer and look at things like in Linwood and Everett, And if you had more cash, I'd say Seattle's great because now you can build out dadus, and add more units, and they're gonna.
There's a
I
big
just-
focus on that, right?
Hmm?
There's a big focus on daddies right now, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and King County's in the process of eliminating single family housing zoning throughout the whole county. So
I just saw that. Yeah. I think there's a meeting coming up to go over all that also.
yeah, so there are going to be some big moves, and lot sizes are going to become reduced. So, but 70K is not to purchase and do a dadu. That's not enough in the core King County area.
Yeah, I would love to find a spot in Seattle that I could add a tiny home or a dadu or something like that, because I can easily do that. We can even construct one, no problem. They're pretty simple.
White
So-
Center. White Center's pretty popular for that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Rainier, what's just south of Rainier Beach? What's that part of town called? Skyway.
Oh yeah,
I mean, if you're planning on adding the dadu, those are good places to do that. The homes themselves may not cash flow out the gate, but
yeah. There's the I do need to get that money pulled back because it is a HELOC, so that's gotta come back within so many months. Can't be tied up in the house too long. But yeah, thanks for that. Those are good suggestions. Yeah, White Center's been growing steadily for quite a while. I remember when it was just dirt cheap, in White Center. I live in West Seattle, so I'm just next door.
I remember when Julie sent me to go inspect a hoarder house in White Center that was at the time the most disgusting house I'd ever seen. I hated her. I was like, I'm never dealing with this lady ever again. That was 6 years ago, and now she knows better. You guys don't wholesale as much. You guys don't wholesale like you used to.
That's funny. Yeah.
We were literally walking on bags of trash to look at the house. Almost like that. Oh, did Daniel leave? Oh yeah. I did one for Daniel in Rainier Beach that had a tree growing through the rear wall.
Wow. Are you an inspector then, Troy?
Yeah, that's my day job.
Okay, cool.
And I work almost exclusively with investors, so that's why I know where people are buying. There's an 800K fourplex for sale in Everett that needs another 300 in renovations, and it rents for $5,000. Each unit's like 1,500 if you're interested in that.
Yeah, it's just getting the down payment though.
No, I mean that property is not cash flow. I was like,
Yeah.
why would you even? You're buying a rehab project at 800, and you're gonna your top end rents are 2,000 for each unit. You can't. You're gonna be negative every month.
No bueno.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this year though. Getting my first property finally. It's been like, year and a half kind of in the making, acquiring knowledge, connecting with you folks and other people. And yeah, so very excited about this year. And the dadu, some of the changes in Seattle are really interesting. I've been following that also. So I think that opens up some opportunities. I don't want to do it on my main property here, but I think buying a rental with some extra space in the rear is a smart move. Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're about at almost to 12:30 here. Does anybody have any last minute thoughts or questions? Otherwise, we will call it a day.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Good to connect again.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for the questions, and thanks, Troy, for all your expertise as always.
Yeah.
Very helpful.
Thanks, Troy. I copied your email as well.
Yeah. Cool. Send me an email.
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. Well, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next week, hopefully.
Hey.
All right.
Thanks,
Take care,
Joe.
guys.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.